And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the 8th Day Chronicles YouTube channel here at Cross Timbers Farm. Today we have a lot going on. We have our annual vet visit for the goats and the dogs and the cat. We'll be getting blood work done, some other testing. One of the bucks will get castrated. We'll be asking the vet some nutrition questions and things like that, so stick around and see what's going on. Okay, everyone, we have finished with our vet visit. We were going to film a little bit of it, but it got a little chaotic with everything going on. So to recap, what we did was our yearly farm visit. All the goats were checked for CL, CAE, and Yanni's. We had some fecals pulled on one goat, and we're going to be treating her for tapeworms. She is also having a liver serum check because we think she could have had some Bosey toxicity. The dogs and the cat got rabies vaccines, and the big thing, Outlaw has been castrated, so that has been taken care of.
We hopefully will have some kids out of him, but I'm telling you, having 2 bucks in the same pasture on the farm right here together. If you've got a really large farm and you can separate,
a large herd.
Yeah, a large herd, and you can separate, you know, 1 buck into one herd and 1 buck into another, and then when breeding season's over, if you got room to move them away from your girls, and having them in close proximity like we do here, and you know, we only have around 10 acres, and having them that close together now was just chaotic with 2 bucks.
He was supposed to be castrated before he came, but as I said in an earlier video, that didn't happen. So it kind of worked to our advantage, but that's been taken care of. He's waking up from his anesthesia and
well, you know,
figure out why he's so drafty.
Yeah, I guess, but you know, it's one of those things. You know, if you guys at farm, you know what we're talking about. You got 2 bucks on the property, or two bulls, or 2 rams.
Sometimes 2 roosters.
Yeah, and you get them. They start feeding off one another for a competition of who's going to be the boss with these girls, and it just escalates. You know, sorta during breeding season, to the point that sometimes some of these dairy goat bucks can get nasty. I mean, nasty with you, and nasty with everything, nasty with the guard dogs, and they just get to the point where it's just a big, huge competition, you know, that you're not taking my girls away from me, and neither is the dogs or nobody else, you know, and I think when you eliminate that competition, then things will
kind of calm down.
You know,
So some things real quick. Mudslide is the goat that we had the most of the blood work on. As you know from other videos, we've had some issues with her weight fluctuating, and her fecal exam did show that she has tapeworms, which we had not been treating for because we were not sure they were there. But our vets recommendations now, for those of you who have goats and worm goats, you know that parasites in goats become quickly resistant to treatment. So for what we're treating her for now, his recommendation is a white dewormer like Safeguard or Valbazin. However, she could be pregnant, so Valbazin is not safe in pregnancy. That joined with ivermectin, so you're getting 2 classes of dewormer. So we will be treating her with ivermectin and Safeguard, oral goat Safeguard in just a little bit.
Yeah, and the ivermectin will be oral. It's not injected.
So we think that that's going to take care of her weight fluctuations, and then a little bit. We are very fortunate to have a mobile vet service who comes to the farm. He takes care of all of our animals when he's here. He has been our vet since 2015.
Yeah, to what?
7 years.
7 years.
At least. He's a graduate of NC State. Very knowledgeable. He actually, while he was in high school, interned with another local vet. He does things old school, but he's very good with the animals.
And I like that.
Yeah, he's very kind, hearted. We did have to muzzle Oakley.
Yeah.
Oakley was doing her job, but he's still very patient with that and works through it, so that went well. We did find out that Raven has some, just like any animal that is white furred and white skinned can have hearing issues. Raven does have a little bit of a hearing issue.
Yeah, we've noticed for a long time, and I have especially, probably more than Susan, because I'm out here a lot more, that Raven, I could call for Raven and holler at her, and she would just stand off, you know, wherever she was at, like she was oblivious to I was yelling for her. Mm-hmm. And I'd get louder and louder, and she would finally jerk around like that, like, are you hollering, are you wanting me or something, you know, and come to me. And I've told Susan for a while, something's wrong with Raven's hearing. She either is very hard of hearing, or I actually wondered a little bit if she was deaf and was just picking up the vibration waves from noise, you know, and looking at us when we called. But I think she can hear.
It seems to be on her right side that the impairment is.
And the vet seemed to think that she could hear, but it's not good. So
yeah.
her hearing is not real good. So, but other than that, she's healthy as a horse. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, nutrition-wise, we're on key with what we're doing. We'll go over in another video sometime the way we do our feed.
Yeah. Yeah, the vet was happy with everything except, like I said, Muddy's fluctuating weight. And so he's doing a liver test on that as well
we'll
to
have
see
those results later this afternoon.
Yeah, to see if the Bosie has done something with her liver.
So his recommendation with Bosie is if you are using a mineral block, even in a selenium deficient area like we are, if you are using a mineral block that has selenium and they are actually using it, unless you see signs of selenium deficiency, you do not need Bosie until the doe is ready to kid. And his recommendation is that we will do CDTs late winter, early spring, just before kidding, and then we will see if anyone needs a Bosie vaccine.
Yeah.
Other than that, we're not going to. We're not gonna need anything except to get this girl wormed.
Yeah. So
dewormed, not wormed. Yeah. She's already wormed.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. So we're gonna head into the pasture here with these does and single Muddy out and
yeah. Then we'll have to go to the back and. Fix a collar. Yeah,
we got to fix a collar on our buck rodeo. He's going to be our herd sire for a while. So, and he's a naturally polled and has really good genetics, and he's a purebred. So, but we put a new collar on him, and in the rush of the vet wanting to get stuff, he had other appointments to get to, and I need to trim that collar. So, we'll get that done. But let's go get these goats
get
treated.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
I'm going to give her the ivermectin first because it tastes bad. All right. And now with the bolus, you just want to make sure that you get the bolus to the back of their throat and then pop it in. If you go to the side, it's actually a little easier. Yeah, let's get her to swallow it. Okay, this is Stormy. Based on Stormy's weight, she's going to get 2 ml of Safeguard, or I'm sorry, of ivermectin, and it tastes bad, so they get it first. And then she is going to get 3 ml of Safeguard. Yeah, that tasted better. She's not getting copper today. We don't have the right milligram capsules for her. If they're less than a year old, they get 2 milligrams of copper. If they're over a year old, they get 4 milligrams of copper. And I only have the 4 milligram capsules. We had the others ordered, they're just not here yet. So she won't get copper today. Okay.
Why are you giving ivermectin and Safeguard both?
So the vet told us today that because of parasite resistance that has started building up, if you have an animal in your herd that has tested positive for tapeworms, it needs to be treated with a white dewormer, such as Safeguard or Valbazin or Pancor. But it is not safe for goats that are possibly pregnant, so we're using the Safeguard. But you're supposed to do that in combination with ivermectin. So you do 2 types of dewormer, and it works more effectively than a single dewormer. So when you are deworming your goats, you need to be using 2 spectrums of dewormer at one time. And again, you only use dewormer in your herd if FAMACHA scores are low or if fecal shows that you have tapeworm issues. Tapeworms do not act like barber pole worms or other blood-sucking parasites, so it really won't show up on your FAMACHA score. So, because everyone's FAMACHA is a little low, we know that we have a blood-sucking parasite, but because we had tapeworms in our stool sample, we know that we have that type. So we're using 2 spectrums of dewormer.
Hey, this is Lana, Lady Lana as I like to call her. She's the herd boss, and she's fixing to, I'm going to deworm her. First I'm going to use ivermectin. Okay, good girl, good girl. I know it tastes bad, but you're a good girl. Now the next one is Safeguard, and it don't taste near as bad. They usually don't mind it. It's kind of an apple flavor, sorta. See, she's just, she don't want to let go of the syringe. She likes it so good. Yeah, you want to get it out? Yeah, it's good, ain't it? Okay, the next one is the copper bolus.
Usually put some peanut butter to hold it in.
Yeah, and she's really not going to like me after this. Oopsie. No.
Why is it important for them to swallow it without chewing?
Well, it's in a gel capsule, and the capsule will go down into their stomach, and it'll dissolve, and the little copper wires will come out of the capsule and kind of embed in her stomach, and it absorb into her system through her stomach.
Okay, so that wraps up our vet visit for the year, barring any unforeseen injuries or illness. And I did mean to mention that if you saw the Muddy's side, she we're not sure what she scraped it on, but she has a it's not even deep, it's just a pretty wide and long scratch that we shaved this hair away from.
Our goats they get to feeling good, and they'll run and jump and climb and on everything, and
rub on anything.
Yeah, who knows what she might have rubbed up against and caught a splinter or a little piece side of the tin off of the shed or something, whatever, and it kind of scraped her side pretty good.
Yeah, there's some scarlet oil on there that's got it discolored. It looks kind of red, but it's not. It looks way worse than it is.
Yeah, the vet looked at it, and he just kind of shrugged his shoulders and said that's nothing to worry about. So.
Yeah, so barring anything unforeseen like that, which can always happen on a farm, we've had some crazy accidents around here with goats ripping ear tags out and things like that, but hopefully nothing like that unexpected will happen, and we won't have another vet visit for a year.
Exactly. All righty. Okay, thanks for being with us today on the farm. We sure appreciate it. if you haven't, we'd sure appreciate it if you'd subscribe to our channel and like our videos and check back in with us for new videos. We sure appreciate it very much. God bless and have a good evening.
Thanks.